Hey guys, this is One Woman Army here. This is Amelia, and welcome this week to Tell Me Tuesday Q&A, the place where you want to be if you want to transform your happiness, your life, your business, your career. This week I've received several DMs with questions on relationships, and there was one that came multiplied through several people. So I decided to go ahead and answer it here on the live this week. The question was, how do I know when it's time to let go on my relationship? The person who asked this question is married. She has two children, small children, elementary age, and she wanted to know, how does she know, or when how does she know if the time is right for her to let go of her relationship? And here is my answer. Actually, to let go of your relationship, the perfect time to do that, I would say, is every day, is every morning, every night that you go to bed. You have to release the other person. Relationships, being with a special one, marriage, or whatever other form of committed relationship, are not supposed to be jail of a relationship. It's supposed to be freedom. And I believe that even though we have this power to make it holy or to live it from a place of holiness inside of us, we over time, or maybe sometimes from the very beginning, we tend to get driven in the relationship by fear instead of by love. And when we are driven by fear, we become obsessive in our relationship. As a result, we start projecting fears that come from our mind and our own making into this person. And we start putting the special person in a little box, that says, you are here to make me happy. You are here because whatever you do that does not keep me content is going to make me hate you. It's going to make me resent you. And before you know, we turn that relationship into a jail, into a prison, into something that we do not stand really, and the other person either. It is energetically. That causes friction, that causes a lot of insatisfaction. And actually, what we are living, my experience is that in the majority of the cases and the majority of the marriages that we have today, and that I have had the privilege to either work in the past or just have around, even my own, we have one night that is completely awesome and in bliss, and then 6 months of misery and hell. And that is not love by any means. I would say that most of us believe that we are in love relationships, when in reality we are in a different type of relationship. How do we know that we are in a different type of relationship? Because love is freedom. Love is not conditional. And we tend to put a lot of conditions around our relationships. I love you if you love me back. I love you if you behave the way that I want you to. I love you if you meet my expectations. And what that does to the relationship is that it kills it, it transforms it, it sends it to our mind, and it stops living in our heart to be of our mind. And it is really painful when a relationship with a special one ends, when we are in these condition, in this predicament. I would say that even though the best time to let go of any relationship is at every moment, every morning, every evening. What I mean by let go is let it be free. Let it be what it is. Enjoy the moment, enjoy what it's becoming. It's always transforming. Do not try to put boundaries around it. Do not try to limit it. Do not try to make that relationship cater to your fears, to your own insecurities. Because at the very end of the day, everything that we expect our partners to do for us is something that we are not either willing to do for ourselves, or that we are afraid that we are not enough to do it for ourselves. So we need that somebody, that special relationship to project to us or to complement us. And we hear a lot out there that, find your media naranja, your half orange. In reality, that does not exist, and that entails right there that if you're in that kind of relationship where you feel complimented, where you feel that the other person completes you, you are not in love, and you are not in a loving relationship. You are in a relationship driven by fear, in a relationship driven by insecurities. It can be transformed all the time, of course. I actually think that when a relationship is about to end, most of us do it at the worst time, when we leave the relationship not because we are moving to what we want, but because we are trying to get away from what we don't want, from what we don't like. And in that regard, we do not grow enough. We do not evolve enough to find that center, that love inside of us. If you are living in a relationship that it's making you doubt where you are, which I would have to admit that majority of the people I know are in that kind of relationship, where they have one day, like I said, that they're happy versus 6 months of hell and unhappiness and distress, and feeling that you have to run home because this person is waiting for you, instead of viewing it as an invitation to share good moments and to share your wholeness and your own completeness with that person. All of a sudden it becomes a burden. And at the same time, you're afraid of aloneness. You're afraid to be alone. You're afraid of aging. You're afraid of not finding somebody else who loves you, even though I don't really understand how that kind of relationship can be withheld and withstand for many years, sometimes even for an entire life, devoided of real love and devoided of real sacredness. Relationships are not of the body, relationships are of the mind. And the mind cannot meet two masters, cannot serve two masters at the same time. So when the mind is busy looking for fault, looking for approval, looking for the other person to compliment you, does not have the power to be within and to draw the love from the only place that it exists, which is within, which is inside of you, which is with you. The only thing that you do with your partner is a projection. So next time that you are considering this question of when to let go, just ask yourself, am I asking the question from a place of love, or am I asking a question from a place of fear? Because if you're asking from a place of love, you probably won't be asking the question in the first place, because you know that love is free and unconditional, and you would feel that way, because it's not that you don't know it right here, it's that you would feel it right here. Otherwise, I would say hold your horses, stop any decision, and go back to your self-love. Find who you are, find your love, find your own completeness inside, find ways to get your focus away from that projection that you're putting on the other person. Give that person space, give your special one time, give yourself time, give yourself a space, and know that what is really, really meant to happen for you, nobody else can take in this world. And sometimes we outgrow our own feelings, we outgrow the situations that we are, and it is our own feelings of non-contentment that are pointing to within, is not really pointing to the person that we're with. So it is a great time to just like get your focus on something else, find an area in your life that it's working for you, that it's under your control, and that you really enjoy and feel joy with, and focus temporarily on that particular area instead of continue feeding the perception that the other person is not making you happy, and that's your source of insatisfaction. Because if you walk away, if you let go of any relationship under those conditions and with those feelings inside, I promise you that the only thing that you're going to take with you really are your own feelings. So wherever you go, wherever you move, you're going to continue feeling the same way. You are going to continue feeling resentful. You're going to continue living like a victim. And I think that that's the reason why many relationships this day, when they finish, many divorces, when they occur, they are done at the wrong time, a destiempo in Spanish. And as a result, there's a lot of friction going on afterwards, even to a heightened level, magnified, if you will, than when they were married. And it is because the couple did not take the time to go inside and find inner love before making a decision to uncouple. And I would say that 99% of the relationships don't need to go to a divorce, don't need to go to a separation. It is divine intervention that puts us together, to grow together, to share together, to enjoy together, to thrive together, not to survive together or just barely make it. So I hope this has answered your question, and I am so glad to be here with you, and I'm looking forward to read your questions and to have the opportunity to answer it in English here on Tell Me Tuesday or on Facebook Live on Juntémonos Jueves. So until next time, just live for real.